Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to do a disassembly on the TK45. Hi guys, so welcome back. Before I get started, if you are enjoying my video, if you found it useful, please consider giving me a like and a subscribe. It helps me keep making these videos and expanding my channel. So today I've got the TK45 from KWA, brand new out just a few weeks ago, and today we're going to go through a disassembly. Hopefully you've seen my previous videos where I did a hot rubber change and I did a downgrade video as well. Today we're going to take it right down and get the gearbox out. And next week I'm hoping to have an installation video of a gate titan into this gearbox as well. So let's get started. First thing, make sure your magazine is out and out of the way, and obviously make sure that your battery's gone and out and that everything's cleared through. So once we've made sure that the battery's out and the mag's out, next thing we're going to do is we're going to split the body using the front body pin. Now I've worked on a few of these already and I found that in some cases the front body pin is really stiff and the actual separating of the upper and the lower is really quite stiff and difficult. So it might take quite a little bit of force to get these separated, but will eventually just go. There is a plate which I'll show you now. This plate here can drop ever so slightly down. This plastic plate can cause issues with separating the body, and pushing it up can help. So we can get rid of that out of the way and we're left with just the lower body. So next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to push that body pin back in just to keep it out of the way, and next thing we're going to remove the stock. So to remove the stock, we're going to extend it all the way out. We're going to push down, carefully stand that up. We're going to push down on the handle and lift it up towards us, and then carefully making sure that the wiring slips through, and there's the stock. We'll get that out of the way. So now we're going to move on to removing the stock tube. So before we remove the stock tube, what we're going to do is we're going to take the end cap off, which hopefully you remember from the downgrade video. So I'm just going to get a flat-headed screwdriver, just get those out of the way, and I'm just going to get a bigger one. There we go. So this just unscrews, nice and steady. And when it gets to the end, I'll just put my finger in the way just to catch it. There we go. So recoil spring and guide, and if we tip it up, we get the rest of the spring and the spring guide and the recoil weight. So we'll get those out of that way. Now next thing is this stock tube nut. Now ideally you need an armourer's wrench. You can use adjustable grips to get hold of this and loosen it off, but you're better off with a proper tool. So you just hook it round and just unscrew it. Before we do that, what we're going to do is just remove this plate here that has the wiring underneath it. So we just need a Phillips head screwdriver, now hopefully you'll remember from one of my review videos, these screws can come loose due to the recoil, so it is worth frequently tightening these screws up just to make sure that you don't lose anything and they don't cause an issue. I have ended up with this same piece on my RONIN Recon slightly bent out of shape because one of the screws did drop out and got wedged and ended up causing part of it to bend slightly. Doesn't stop the functioning of it, but obviously does cause a few issues. So we'll just lift that out of the way, and there we go. So what we're going to do is just lift this up, and now I've been in this one before and I've peeled back. There is heat shrink covering the connector, so I'm just going to pull the connectors apart. Just lay that down carefully. So there goes the red, and way. There goes the black. So there's the end of the wiring loom. Get that out of the way, and I've loosened this off now, so this will just unscrew and we can pull the wires through in a few minutes. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the motor from in here. Now this is what looks like a proprietary pistol grip with base plate and obviously extension of the base plate onto the magwell. Now having worked on this, the motor does sit at the back of the pistol grip, not in the middle, and the motor has been turned round as well, which you'll see in a second. So there's also a screw here and a rounded head screw in the back there, using Allen key bolts. So I'll just remove those, get those out of the way. Now lift this, oh, I can't lift this up yet because I need that one. You also need to remove this screw here and this screw here to be able to remove this base plate. So when reassembling, my advice would be to put these two bolts back in first before these two, so you can get the adjustment and seating right, just to make sure everything fits properly and you're not going to crimp any wires. Get that out of the way. So lift that out of the way. Now as you can see here, the red terminal is actually at the back here and the black terminal is at the front. Now in a normal AEG it's the other way around, you get the red at the front and the black at the back. There's also extra wires in here. Now those extra wires are the item that's the little soldered on or screwed on, I think like a circuit board that helps to stop shorting out on the trigger contacts to extend the life of your trigger block. Now the motor can be a little bit tricky to wiggle out, so what I've done is I've got my needle nose pliers and I've just wiggled it about a little bit, and there comes the motor. So that's the KWA high torque motor. There's a little bit extra wiring I was talking about that helps to stop the trigger shorting, and the springs just come off, so I'll just get the spring out. There's a spring. So next thing, it's just like a normal M4. Down in here, I'll just bring the light in. Hopefully you can see there are two screws in there, one at the front left, one at the bottom right, and we're just going to remove those and then carefully wiggle it off, and these wirings will come out as well. So one screw, there we go. So just put the wires in and they easily come out, but like that. The pistol grip is now out of the way. I'm getting quite close to the end now. So next thing, I'm going to release the mag catch. So just remove the mag catch like that, keeping the little screw with it. You don't want to lose that. There's the spring, and it drops out of the other side. And then we've got a body pin and another body pin just to get out of the way. Now one end is threaded, one isn't. I suspect it's that way, so let's just see if I can knock that through. Now I was right, there's the threaded end. So the threaded end was on the right hand side of the weapon, and we'll unscrew this. And one last bit, we're going to unscrew this before the final body pin. Nope, big one on that. You are going to need quite a variety of different size bits to complete this job. I am mostly using Torx head bits in different sizes, which I'll go through in a second. So I've loosened that off, so the wiring now can easily drop through there. So that body pin will just, with thumb pressure, come out, and I believe the gearbox will just lift out like that. Now you've got to kind of, this will come out, this is the cut off latch. Obviously doesn't do anything other than it will lock open the dust cover to access the hop. So we're just going to carefully wiggle this out now and feed these wires through as well at the same time, just to get access to everything that we need. There we go. And pull them through there. And there you have it. There's the rest of the body. Get that out of the way. And there's the gearbox with its charging handle and everything ready to be worked on. So leave that there. So that's the gearbox removed. The piston obviously won't come out yet until we remove the gear set, but this is ready to be worked on. When you are reassembling it, just a few little points to note. There is a little cam inside that links through to the selector plate here, and hopefully you can see properly there are three little shapes there. That indicates the three positions that this selector plate should sit in to access safe, which is all the way to the left, single shot and full automatic, and that corresponds obviously with the three positions. Now when you are reassembling it, I would recommend putting the selector to either single shot or to full automatic, because it will just drop in that little bit easier and neater and tidier. And as you are putting it back in, make sure you also drop back in at the same time the bolt release as well, otherwise you can't get in once it's removed. So that is the complete disassembly. I hope you'll come back next time when I install a gate tighten in this, and obviously if you are wanting to rebuild from here, just play the video backwards a little bit at a time and we'll get back through it all again. So thanks for watching, see you next time, bye.